Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Usually I have a ring on this, my right hand, and it was on my right hand because when we got married, I reached out with my right hand to receive the ring instead of the left hand, not being married before and not being able to practice the night before and half the wedding being in Filipino. I heard something about rings, so I just reached out with my right hand. So that's where I've worn it for 8 years, but not right now, and it feels really weird to not have that ring on. I'm also always careful not to lose it, um, since it fits a little bit lighter or looser than it used to. And I had to take it in to get it cleaned. I think it's every 6 months. I take my wife's ring and the band, and I take my ring, the gold one, and take it into the jewelers where I bought it 8 years ago. I remember that like yesterday. And they clean it up, maybe tighten some of the stones. And my ring, they said there were some scratches on it, and they could, buff it up and make it look better than ever. So I'm going to be without my wedding ring for 2 weeks. So I want to talk about, I guess, not having a wedding ring and the importance of having a wedding ring. Of course, you can always just go buy one and wear it and pretend like somebody has made a commitment to you, but that would not be true. Having that ring, I was always embarrassed to not have a ring on my hand. Normally it's on the left hand. And once I got married, it was something I was very proud of, because that means I went somewhere, Philippines, 9,800 flight miles away, and I proposed to my wife. After I proposed to her, through a text message, I asked her if I proposed to her, she would marry me, and she said yes if I come and see her. So I got the ring that very day at the same place I returned it to just earlier today, and got my tickets, ran out there, got married within probably another 35 days. It only took 54 days to get married to her from the United States, right in the middle of the country, to Davao City, Philippines. And we're still married 8 years later. And this channel of Beyond the Sea is about marriage to a Filipina. I'm not interested in anything else other than finding a woman to marry. And I don't care if it's not a Filipina. I just think people need to get married. Less people are getting married, and if they are, they're marrying later and later, and what a waste of time that is. I think you're welcome to challenge me and leave comments here on Love Beyond the Sea. I'm very pro-marriage, pro-Filipina. I married a woman from the Philippines, so when I get my ring back, I'll be able to show the whole world somebody committed to me. Yes, somebody is out there that committed to me, and I did what it took to ask somebody if they would marry me. I proposed, and they said yes. So let me know what you think. Do you think having a wedding ring is something you're consciously aware of at any time? I am, and not just because I don't want to lose it. Sometimes I'll lose it in the washer or the dryer when I throw clothes in there because it's not fitting like it used to. My fingers must be getting a little thinner for some reason. And I can't wait to get it back. It feels really strange, and I hope I don't have flashbacks of being single for as long as I was when, I wanted the ring, not because it was a piece of jewelry, but the ring means something. It means I'm dedicated to somebody else. They in turn have been dedicated to me. I'm devoted to them. They are devoted to me for 8 years. We do have an age gap of 27 years. No big deal in the Philippines. It all comes down to how you treat her. She is, as I told her in our wedding vows, the apple of my eye. I would do anything for her, and I believe a husband should sacrifice anything for the good of his wife, his, any comfort, anything he needs to be able to give up for her sake. As a Christian, Jesus Christ died for his church and gave up his life for her, and husbands are told in Ephesians 5 to do that for their wives. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing to have somebody to sacrifice your life for, to pray for, to invest your life in. A lot of people go wrong when they get married, and then they go right back to acting like they're single again. So the ring is kind of anticlimactic. It doesn't mean anything. Well, it means a whole lot to me. I can't wait to get it back. It means that I found a wife. I'm not single anymore. I did what it took to get married, which was to go 9,800 miles away. I don't care if it was Mars. I found somebody. And what an adventure that was. And it can be an adventure for you too. Some of the people watching Love Beyond the Sea are married to Filipinas. Some of them aren't. And I think having a channel about marriage is not as popular as having one that isn't about marriage. I think a lot of people that are married don't have channels, and that's okay. My message is get married. Young men, get married. Middle-aged men, get married. Older men, get married. If you need to get married, if you need to have intimacy with someone, get married. A life alone is very, troubling and even disturbing. It's unnatural. There you go. It's unnatural. And more people should have a ring on their hand to show that they were rewarded for their effort to decide to put another person above themselves in their life and get involved with their messy situations. Marriage is messy. It's never two wonderful people coming together. It's always two broken people coming together, like my wife and I. And like any couple, we have to work things out. And those general ideas I talk about here on this channel. So if you would like to subscribe and be motivated to not just accept that you're single and alone. I don't think it's the best life. I think the Bible makes it very clear we should marry. And if you can't find somebody good where you are, go where you're wanted. They're out there. I wish I hadn't taken so long to go to the Philippines. I was 53 at that time. I just didn't think about it before. And the only person I knew that was married to a Filipina did it back in maybe the 1990s or so. I think there was no internet as far as I recall, and they used mail to go back and forth with their communication. They're still married today. They've got 2 or 3 children and maybe moving back to the Philippines when their children are all older and able to be on their own. I don't think they're going to go with them. So yes, it does work. It does work for many people. And when I get that ring back, it will, show everyone that it's worked out well for me since I found my love beyond the sea.